This is Alex Duenas, your able-bodied instructor here, and I just received a call or calls actually, and some of the students have been having trouble with the gasket project. So what I wanted to do was kind of start it out for you guys to let you know, show you how you can construct this gasket. Okay. So what I'm going to do initially is kind of start laying out some of these upper lines. I'm only going to do a few, so that way you get to see how I would do this, but also you guys could hopefully pick it up pretty quick and then just kind of continue, on your own. So what I did was I went ahead and brought in a scanned image and I popped it in right next to this starter piece that I gave you guys. Okay. So if you remember correctly, I told you, and I misled you, I told you that this was going to be symmetrical with the bottom. And after looking at it, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not. So what we have to do is we're going to have to construct this whole vertical entirely, but we can mirror it around the center of this. So in essence, the center right here is this little center line right there. Okay? That circle is obviously that circle right there. But what we need to do is we need to create from bottom to top this whole left-hand side. Okay, we could do the right-hand side, but I don't know. I just started with the left-hand side, so I think I'll start there. So the first thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and start constructing from the bottom to the top, because that's the way our dimensioning is running. Okay, so note that the baseline is right here and we construct up. So the first thing I want to do is I want to identify what the baseline is. So if you note that this dimension here is 82.55 millimeters. So what I want to do is offset that center line 82.55. So I'm going to type O for offset 82.55 and select that line and place it down there. And notice it's off my screen. Notice it's down, way down there. Okay, so it's down further than I thought. So in order to see my sheet here, I'm going to just scale it up a little bit. There we go. Okay, pan it over a little bit. Okay, so now I have my baseline, which is here. So what I want to do is maybe take the next step, which is this line right here. You know what? No, let me do the overall. And the overall, this kind of got smushed by my scan, so I know I'm looking at the book. It's 158.75 millimeters. So I'm going to offset 158.75 and okay, hit return. Select that and then place that one up there. Okay, so now I have this line and that line. And now I want this line right here, and that's 28.57. So I'm going to offset 28.57, go there to there. Okay, so now you kind of see what I'm doing here, okay? But I'm working on this side. So now I need to figure out what's my dimension out here to the edge, because I want to get my max and mins. Before I do that, let me just place this line up in here, and that's 146.05 millimeters. So that's offset 146.05 millimeters. And let me place that there. Okay, so now I have the top, this one, and that one. Okay, let me go ahead and change the layers. I'm going to stop the video here, and I'll come back and I'll have these layers on their correct layers. Okay, okay, I went ahead and changed these to the object layer, and okay, so we're going to go ahead and start. Now I'm looking at this drawing and I'm having a little problem with this right here. Nowhere on the drawing nor in the notes do they give you an indication what the diameter is of this hole, nor the distance from, say from here, say from there to there is of this. So this is going to take a little guesswork. What I'm going to say is, let's make this diameter 7.00 millimeters, okay? Then from here to here, we'll make that 9 millimeters, okay? So let me pan down here a little bit. So if I want to go from the center here to this radial point, or this center point of this hole, the furthest most hole, I have to take the 212.72 and divide that by 2, which gives me 106.36. Okay, so now I have to offset that center line, 106.36 return, and then offset there. So that's where that center of the hole is going to be. Now, let me pan up and let me create that. And remember, I said that that circle, that hole there, was going to be 0.7 millimeters. So I'm going to type in C for circle, and I want the radius. So if it's 0.7 diameter, it's 0.35 radius, and I don't know why it's there. Let me do that again. I'm going to go to the end point of this thing, and it's going to be 0.35. Okay, boy, that's kind of small. Actually, I made the mistake. Let me undo that. Undo. Center, and that's going to be 3.5. And again, I'm sorry about this. Center, and here, 3.5. Okay. That still looks a little small, but we're going to live with that. That's a 7.0 millimeter. Okay. Now, I said that we're going to use a distance of 9.0 millimeters from here over here. So I'm going to offset that 9 millimeters there. Okay, so now that is our furthest most point right here. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to figure out what some of these other dimensions are. So notice what we need to do is we come across here to there somewhere, and then from here to here. Now the way we get these two radial points right here, where these radiuses exist, is right here at these two center points. Okay, so let's look at this one real quick. That's 40.28 overall. That's going to be 20.14 off of the center line. So I want to go offset 20.14 to there. And then this one over here is going to be, let's see, 43.36. Let me do the math. Let me use my calculator. 86.72, enter, 2 divided by 43.36. So I'm going to offset that. 43.36 there to there, and that's where, okay, so if you take the prolongation of this line, which is that line to there, that's where that center is going to be, and then this one here is this here. So what we want to do now is we can create an arc. I usually just create circles, and I hit the intersection of that. The radius is just the intersection of that, and then I'm going to do it again on the other side. So I'm going to hit C for circle, shift right click to the intersection there, and then I'm just going to go to the intersection, there it is, of that one. And notice my circles don't touch, which makes sense. Okay, they don't have to. So what I need to do is I need to introduce now a line tangent to both of those. Okay, so I'm going to say, okay, let me invoke the line command, and then hit the shift right click, go tangent to here, and then tangent to that one. And remember, AutoCAD figures it out. So now I just need to clean up my work here. So I'm going to type TR for trim, and I want to trim, say, let me just clean this up, that one, and I want to trim off that one. TR for trim, select the thing I want to trim, say that I want that gone up to that point, so I want this one as well. Okay, so now you can see how it swoops down. Now I just need to trim off this one here. Zoom dynamic, and go back out, and let me take a look at the drawing here. So you can see how it goes like that, and right down there like that. Okay, Okay, now let's zoom out a little bit more here. So now I have this little piece that I need to trim. So TR for trim. Select the trimming, the cutting line, and then return, and then cut the thing I want to trim. Okay, so there we go. So now let's take a look at this. I want to teach you guys how to read these drawings. Notice this says 2 by diameter 15.87 millimeters. That means there's 2 holes that size, and that's that one and that one. Okay, let's take a look at another one here. This one right here. This one says 6 by diameter 9.52. So that means there's 6 holes that are this size. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, here this says 2 by 3.17 millimeters. That means there's 2 holes, 1, 2 there. Okay, so if you don't see one of these dimensions, that's because that's covered under one of these notes. Okay, so let's see, what's our next step here? I'm looking for this radius. Here it is. So it's 15.87. So that's 15.87 because there's 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but I still don't know what this angle is. So what I need to do is construct out that radius right there. Okay, I'm sorry, this radius right here. Let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so what I want to do is, first things first, let me escape here. I'm going to extend this line to that line right there. Okay, so I have to extend. It says select the objects, and what I need to select is the limits of the extent there. Hit return because I've selected all those that I wanted. Now I select the thing I want to extend. There you go. So now it's there. So what I can do now is, once I create that radius, then I can go ahead and I can make it a tangent. But you know, I don't know if I sent this out far enough. Oh no, I haven't constructed this line right here yet. Okay, where the center is. So that line is 171.45. 171.45 divided by 2, and that's 85.725. So I'm going to offset the center, 85.725, return, select that, and go here. So that's about right. Okay, and let's see, my radius is 15.87 millimeters. So here's a trick. All I need to do is type in C for circle, hit the intersection, and place my point right at the intersection, and I can type in, what was that one again? 15.87, 15.87, and that gives me an intersection where that hole belongs. So all I need to do is CO for copy, and then hit the shift, and then intersection here, and then copy a piece, see, intersection again, right there. Okay, so trim, I can trim that off. Oh, not trim, I wanted to erase the whole thing off. So note that right here, that line just runs right into my circle. So I can go ahead and trim that off right there. So now I can create a line at the intersection. Oh, I typed a parent intersection, but that's okay. Here, and then I'm going to say tangent to that one. And then all I need to do is trim, TR, select my 2 trimming planes or lines, hit return, and then hit my thing that I want to trim. So now you can see how I'm like moving my way around. Okay, so which lines don't I need anymore? I don't need this one anymore. Well, you know what, I might. No, I don't. You know what, I'm going to keep that off because I'm going to show you a different way to do it. This one's done, and I'm going to keep this one just in case. This one I'm going to keep just in case, and I think this one I can get rid of, and that one. Okay, so note I have a 15.87 diameter in here, so 15.87, 2 divided by, so divided by 2, That's 7.935 millimeters. I need to put a circle or a hole right here of 7.935 millimeters. So the way I do that is I type C for circle, and then now I want to shift right click, and I want to go to the center, and I want to go to the center of that arc. Okay, and then all I have to do is type in the radius of, actually I can just type D here and type the diameter of 15.87. Return, and there's my hole. Okay, I think you get what I'm doing here, okay? And you see, and so I kind of walk my way around this way, and now I'm going to walk my way back down in here in this area. But I think you're getting the hint of how I'm laying these lines out. I just noticed something. I noticed that this line here, this hole here is probably in line with that line right there. So what I'm going to have to do is create another construction line. Now, since I already went through the trouble of figuring out what half of this distance is to there, I established that hole, this one. So all I need to do is go and establish a line down the center of that hole. So I just type L for line, shift right click, center, go here, and hit F8. F8 gives me an orthogonal, just go straight up and down, and just place a point there somewhere. Okay? And I just go ahead and type in the command MA for match properties, type the center, hit the center, and then hit this one right there. And notice it changed the layer and it changed the line type. So now I have a center line there. Now what I need to do is establish this hole in the vertical position, and that is 4.45 millimeters up, okay, off the baseline. So that is going to be offset 4.45 millimeters. Go there, and that's where it's at. So now that circle, hole I should say in this case, is 9.52. So I invoke the circle command, I hit the shift intersection, go here, almost lost where I was, and then hit D for diameter, and then I use 9.52. Okay, so there's my next circle. Hit the MA command again, which is match properties, hit the center, and then hit the center there. So now I have center lines. I'm not confused. Okay, so I think we're good up to that point. Now what I need to do is now create this fillet right here. And again, that's 15.87. So let me type arc, specify the center, and I want the center to be the center of that right there. And it's asking me for the end point. And I want to hit the intersection of this up. That's not what I wanted. Let me do this again. ARC. And then I want the center. Center of the arc is the intersection of that. And then the start point is going to be at the intersection here. And then I got to, it always swings up the wrong way. Okay, let me take F8 out, see if that helps me. No, it doesn't. Okay, so let's do my favorite trick. Erase that. How about just a circle? Intersection. Now you know why I like using the circles. And then shift intersection again, just to there. Okay, so type the line command, hit the end point of that, and then the shift right click, tangent there, and I'm good to go. Now let me just clean up my lines here, use those two, all these three as my cutting lines, return, and now I can just trim those off. Okay? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you to your own devices. I'm going to go ahead and let you finish this up, but you saw how I was locating different objects, you know, and unfortunately I'm sorry that the author didn't include these distances here for you, or the distance, the overall from the center to this distance, or the overall. But I think I've given you enough information that you can construct the rest of this. So I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it here. And if you have any other further problems, go ahead and either email me or you can give me a call. Okay, so I'll be waiting to see what you guys come up with. Okay, talk to you later.